Gold and silver have struggled to break out, and given their recent trajectory, the gold-silver ratio may widen even more. That's what my next guest says. Todd "Bubba" Horwitz, Chief Market Strategist over at BubbaTrading.com. Bubba, where have you been? We missed you.
What's up, Danielle? How are you?
Great to see you, Bubba. I read with great interest your latest piece where you say that price patterns for the metals will resolve themselves in the direction they were headed, and that gold should move higher, but silver will move a little bit slower and lag a little bit. Explain, right, please.
Well, I think what you're seeing here is right now silver is in a short-term downtrend. You know, we had that panic spike high about a month ago. I think it was January 8th. And of course, both gold and silver both spiked to highs. And since then, they both come down. The difference is gold found some support around 1560 basis April futures and is holding, although lower today. But silver continues in that downward trajectory. And I would think that if it doesn't hold 1750 in the March futures, it's going to go lower. And I think what you're going to see here before it's all said and done is the ratio is going to widen out, and then it's going to reverse, and that will probably be a great time to be buying silver if you're a trader. If you're an investor, I mean, you know, you could buy it here as well. But again, as a trader, I'm looking for gold to continue higher and silver to continue lower. All
right, so here's the million-dollar question. What levels are you targeting now for gold and silver?
Well, I think gold, I'm looking for 1,600 first, but I'm pretty confident that 1613 high that was made on that spike high will be taken out. And then I think that'll probably be a near-term top here. You know, usually when they make those big spike moves, they take them out. I think silver, 1750 is pretty key. If it breaks that, it could get down to 17, which wouldn't be a total surprise. I think you've got some issues here.
Yeah.
And again, for no reason, but again, you can't argue with the market. The market's telling you what direction these products are going.
Well, okay, you've said that the fear is gone. And, you know, if we look, as you said, market risk appetite is high right now. But do you feel if we look at U.S. equities, Bubba, it's really telling the real story? Because there's still a lot of underlying issues in the U.S. economy. Would you not agree?
I agree 100%. Listen, I think that we're in the early stages of a recession. Okay, but again, that doesn't mean that the markets are going to go anywhere. Remember, the cheap money continues to fuel into the markets because the people that can borrow are borrowing every dime they can. That will eventually create a very big bubble. But again, is it tomorrow? Is it a year from tomorrow? We can't answer. And we do know that equities tend to go higher. So, you know, over time. So again, I think you have to watch levels very closely. And the biggest key we always care about is we are watching price. Now, right now, my own account, I'm in a trading account, I'm long gold and short silver. Okay. Now I own both in physical, but in my trading account, that's my position right now. And I think that will continue because price is dictating what I have. And there is really no fear in the markets, even though there should be, but no one cares.
And that's interesting you say that because, you know, mainstream media will say, stop talking about recession. Jerome Powell saying today economic expansions don't die of old age and there's no reason to expect one. But when I speak to you and the other intelligent people that come on my show, most feel that we should still be talking about a recession.
Well, you know, again, I think what you've got is you know, the market trying to manipulate the markets. And of course, when it really comes down to it, where are you going to go to chase yield? So you're kind of forced in. Yet there's a lot of issues here, not even to mention yet. And again, I'm not a big believer in the coronavirus. I mean, I'm a believer in the virus. It's a sad thing. But again, we don't know what the effects are going to be. You know, we haven't been shipping to China, so it's hurting the grain market. It's hurting a lot of markets right now. And so eventually that's got to come back to roost. But remember, the markets don't care until they do. And right now they're going up until they don't. And simply put, I mean, you know, gold looks good. I think gold and silver will both be much higher later.
Right.
But for right now, you know, I've got to look at the way I can see it. And the only thing I can see is 1610 and whatever.
So we basically have the China economy crippled. So it'll either create a global recession, Bubba, or as Wilbur Ross had said, 2 weeks ago, he expects it to actually bring more jobs back to the U.S.
It could bring more jobs back to the U.S., but remember, we go back to then you talk about profits, right? If we bring more jobs back, our companies going to be willing to pay more, okay? And then are the consumers going to be willing to pay more? So there's a whole big circle of events that have to happen here. And listen, China's been in trouble long before the coronavirus. China's been in a lot of trouble. So this is not news. I think the global economy is melting down, as you can see. I mean, anytime you start going to zero interest rates, anytime you start manipulating your currency, anytime you've got to infuse $174 billion into your economy, that tells you you're in trouble. And that's what China just did 2 weeks ago. So at the end, but again, that still goes back to the same point. You know, markets can be irrational longer than you and I can remain solvent. And it's very simple. Price dictates, the whole works. And I can't, again, I'm an owner of gold long term. I'm an owner of silver long term. But in the short term here, I think it's very clear gold should go higher and silver should go lower.
All right, Bubba Horwitz, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, dear. Have a great day.
We'll see you soon. And thank you for watching. We'll have much more for you. So be sure to stay tuned to Kitco.com.